Welcome my friends to Fat Guy Table Tennis. I am your host, Chris Black. Let's get into it. This is my first YouTube video and I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about who I am and what this channel is all about. I am a 47-year-old fat guy. There's no other way of saying it. I am quite large. In February of this year, 2019, I weighed myself in and I was 327 pounds. Yeah, not good. It hasn't always been the case. Most through my, obviously my high school years and even through my 20s and 30s, I participated in all types of athletics on a pretty much a daily basis. I used to lift weights a lot, was really into that. But burning those calories, I think, was keeping the weight at bay. Because the one thing that I wasn't doing during that time was eating right. Never really had a healthy diet. I don't even call it a diet per se. I would just eat what I wanted, when I wanted. Never really thought about the consequences of what I was putting into my body. So about 7 years ago, about the time I was tipping into my 40s, late 30s, early 40s, I stopped participating in, athletic type events. And the weight started coming on because I'd stopped the athletics. I'm no longer burning those calories. And now I'm still eating the same, for lack of a better term, crap that I've always been eating. And the weight just started really stacking on. The pounds kept coming. And my health, I would say fairly rapidly started to deteriorate. So coming back into February of 2019, where I weighed in at 327, around this time, I found myself starting to play table tennis with my 4 stepchildren on a regular basis. The oldest one especially, he's really competitive into it. But it became kind of a regular thing. And not really playing much, if any, table tennis in the past. I really liked it. I liked batting the ball around. Started to movement, and I just got really into it. I went out, I bought my own table that you can see behind me. Got a robot, had some starter bats or paddles, if you will. And almost immediately went and bought a blade, put my own rubbers on the blade, and I even found a group of players that met up on Sundays not too far from where I lived, and me and the family were able to go out there and play some doubles on the weekend. So I really got obsessed with table tennis, and I'm still obsessed, and I don't think that obsession is going to go anywhere. But really started, I consider myself very much a beginner, but I was practicing on a daily basis, really starting to try to develop my basic skills. So I started making the investments in, table tennis. I had a physical activity competition, which I thrive on, drawing me back in and using my time, my spare time to develop and get better through watching videos and etc. So been playing about a month at this point, and I made a doctor's appointment on April 5th of 2019 because I had been having some just various issues that were really odd. My vision, which the worst it's ever been is I needed some very minor readers if print was very small. All of a sudden I couldn't see anything, whether it was far, near, mid, it didn't matter. It was all blurry. I couldn't read things at any distance. Shapes and everything were blurry. I was constantly thirsty, just all sorts of stuff, trouble sleeping, just everything seemed to be going just nutso for me. So I made this appointment on April 5th. I went there and I'm describing all this stuff, and that's when I found out that I had type 2 diabetes. And really this, I'd been on the verge, I guess, of diabetes for a while. I've been at risk for diabetes with my weight, but for some reason, between that February and April time frame, it just decided to really kick in to overtime, and I had all these physical side effects, etc. So that was pretty devastating to me to hear that. It was kind of a shock, even though I knew I was on that path. I mean, I think anybody that's in the same position as I was, they know when they're doing stuff wrong, but sometimes they just don't really have a mechanism of bringing themselves out of it. And sometimes a slap in the face is what they need. And in my case, that slap in the face was hearing that, I have diabetes. And, at 47 years old, I'm responsible for taking care of my family. And I don't like feeling bad. So it was bad news. My fault, bad news. And honestly, I was pretty depressed about it. But I hung my hope on something that I found out at the doctor's that I wasn't ready for. And that was that I weighed 311 pounds. So between February and April 5th, I had somehow managed to lose 26 pounds. So I started thinking about it. What had I changed? What was different? How did I lose this weight? Because I know the one thing that had not changed. The one thing that had not changed was the way I ate. I still ate the same crap. If nothing more, I probably even kicked it into higher gear during some of that period of time. The only thing that had changed was me playing table tennis. So this was some pretty bad news for me. I wasn't too excited. Of course, was prescribed certain medications to help it along, but I also came to the conscious decision and committed myself that I was going to use this as a catalyst to get physically fit. And the mechanism I was going to use to do that was going to be table tennis. If you haven't looked around on the internet, do some searches on table tennis, specifically the physical benefits that come along around. If you go and look on YouTube in various spots, you will see tournaments that are being conducted. I mean, like official tournaments where 80 and 90-year-old folks are out there still playing table tennis competitively. There are a ton of benefits that come with playing table tennis, from better mobility, burning calories, hand-eye coordination, mental stimulation, and it can even help with things like depression, especially if you're out there interacting at a club or like some of the get-togethers that I've participated in recently. Table tennis is something that's low impact. You can do for a long time, and at my age, I'm really looking forward to what it has done for me and what it's going to do for me physically as I move forward. Now, of course, this isn't going to work without me pairing this with a healthier eating style, a healthier eating lifestyle. And that's something that I've been working on since, my diagnosis as well. So on a day that I got some really hard-hitting news, I decided then and there that I wasn't going to let it demotivate me. I was going to use it as an inspiration and pair it up with a sport and a game that I have come to love, which is, table tennis and or ping pong, if you will, and use that to really, accelerate and help improve my lifestyle. Since April 5th, not only am I practicing every day and playing some doubles out on Sundays across town, I have also found a professional club quite a bit of ways away from it, but definitely worth the drive. Joined a league out there that occurs and plays on every Friday night, so I'm gaining some points. I'm looking to play some tournaments, real tournaments, later on this year. And I found another place to play on Mondays, local here as part of the community, and that's been really beneficial too. So with all of this, with the eating right, etc., as a result, I have lost more weight. I am currently at 289 pounds. That's a total, starting from 327, of 38 pounds down. My sugar levels for my diabetes have been really good. And even my eyesight has gotten a lot better. I don't have the problems I'm sleeping anymore. Just this change in activity and eating right has really started to pay off. So that's a little bit about me. So now, why am I making this channel? Okay, folks, first I want to use this as a platform to talk about the challenges and or observations of an older, fat, beginner table tennis player. Things like equipment selection, improvement techniques I'm using, or maybe just general opinions on development in a whole. All of this coming from an older, fatter, beginner competitor's point of view. And second, I want to show and spark conversation about utilizing this great sport for getting fit. There are so many people struggling with their weight and overall fitness in general. It can be hard to find something that is fun to do and has positive health benefits to boot. I personally find that I am a lot more inclined to stick with something if I am having fun while doing it. I believe table tennis has this in abundance, and I hope to share the benefits and results with people who may not have considered it before. Third, I hopefully want to have some positive impact on growing the sport in the United States. I have to be honest, in my country, table tennis is perceived as a basement activity, and many are not aware of the clubs and competitive nuances this sport has to offer. When talking to folks in the U.S., I say, table tennis. They say, what is that? I have to respond with ping pong, which is immediately confused with beer pong. I would love to see more clubs available, more variety in table tennis merchandise available, more tournaments, and just overall people getting the benefits table tennis has to offer. But most of all, I'm utilizing this platform to help keep myself accountable. Putting myself and my progress out there is a good motivator to not give up, regardless of the challenges. If I can help even one person get inspired to get on track of being healthy and help them, I will consider my YouTube endeavor a success. So thanks for watching. There will be more in-depth content coming your way. So please leave a comment, tap that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. From Fat Guy Table Tennis, this is Chris Black. Later.